I want to quickly say this before I start the video. The cookie lady, her mugshot was exposed online, and people were laughing about, someone coming on the show with a mugshot. So basically, the reason why I'm adding other people in this video is not to bring up other people's past, but I'm just showing examples of really, are we really laughing at someone mugshot when half of the girls on this show have mugshots, and some people even went to jail twice for fraud? And so this is the breaking news that you guys want me to talk about. But you know what? I got enough messages, so let's get into it. But don't get in your feelings if I'm talking about someone you support. I'm just using their situation as an example. Like, look, they had mugshots too. They have businesses and they're doing well. And she had a mugshot and she have a successful cookie business. So what's the problem? So let's get into it. What's up, my Fina Lefts? It's Miss Fina D coming to you all from Fina Entertainment News. I saw this interview the moment it dropped. It was hilarious to me, and so I didn't really want to talk about it. But after receiving a lot of DMs, I'm like, okay, let's talk about it. So go ahead and click the very first link in the description below. Watch the short interview that Nene just did, and then saying that Kenya Moore will be the demise of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. It's so interesting to me because everything that Nene described, that is Kenya Moore, and all of the things she says, she's a nasty girl, she's this, that, and the third. Like, Nene was sitting there actually reading herself. Like, she was describing herself to the T. So she just gave herself a good read, okay, in that interview. Anyways, I'm going to address whatever she had to say at the end of this video. I'm going to talk about something else at the beginning. So let's get into it. And then also, I've been receiving a lot of images of the cookie lady, which I'm so over this topic. Like, I'm over it like Snakegate, okay? But I've been receiving her mugshot for fraud or whatever else the charges were. I have it on the screen. And you guys, and people are like, oh my God, Kenya Moore, look at what you brought to the show. Look at what you did. So I laughed as well, because at this point, it's like, what is it, a witch hunt? Because before I get into the demise of the show comment, I laughed because the HBIC, the woman who claimed she opened doors, so according to her, Big Mouth Kenya can walk through, and so on and so forth. She have a few mugshots as well. Her husband have a mugshot. So in 2014, BET wrote an article basically talking about Nene Leakes' past, because Nene wrote a book, basically admitting the things she's done. So let's go ahead and talk about the charges. So BET obtained documents from Athens Clarke County Superior Court. Leakes was charged with 1 misdemeanor and 3 felony counts of theft of services for ripping off her phone company in 1992 when she was 25 years old. A mugshot of a drastically different looking, damn BET, not drastically different looking. In a plea agreement, she pleaded guilty, to all 4 counts and was put on 2 years probation in order to repay, $2,650 over the next 2 years. And BET went on to say that, Leakes kept the other charges well hidden until now, and admitting only to a misdemeanor shoplifting charges on her record. And Nene herself tweeted about this. She wrote, 22 years ago, I was lost, scared, trapped, and a single mom. I care enough about myself to change my life, and you can too. With God, anything is possible. However, remember Nene Leakes went in on Milo for a criminal past, talking about how she slashed her friend's face with knife and all of that. Now she and Milo are back being BFFs. So Milo spent 6 months in jail for cutting one of her former friends, in the face. Basically, they got in a fight. They both had knives. According to Milo, her friend knife dropped. Hers didn't. This same friend went to court, okay, and begged the judge to reduce Milo's sentence. Okay, fast forward years later, that friend took her own life. So the word going around was that Milo, okay, cutting her friend's face led to her friend's face being disfigured to the point where that led to her friend having depression, and eventually, years later, her friend took her own life, allegedly. Such a sad story. So, of course, when Milo heard that people were connecting her to the reason why her friend took her life, she got upset about it and released a statement saying, listen, whatever that happened between us happened years ago, and I do not think what happened between us have any connection to the reason why, she took her life. And then Milo also explained that if she was that angry at me for what I did and we were not friends, then why did she come to court to beg the judge to reduce my sentence? Whatever the case might be, it still happened. Whatever the case might be, Milo still did that. Have Milo's statement and all of that on the screen for you guys to read for yourself. Now, this is a sad story, and that's why I'm being very careful with the way how I talk about it. Okay. So Greg Leake's charges were check fraud. Okay. So people love fraud on this show. Now, Nene charges, she was allegedly charged with theft 3 times on different last names, okay? And in as much as Nene's oldest son is very grown, he is still her child, so we're gonna leave the kids out of it. It's just that his mugshot was attached to his family. Someone did a whole collage of the family, photo mugshots via having mugshots, so that's why he's in, this whole thing. Miss me with this whole Kenya is gonna be the demise of the show, or laughing at the cookie lady, because Bravo don't have no problems having criminals on the show. Okay, so now we all know that Portia mugshots, but she still got a mugshot. She got one for assaulting Kenya and another one for basically driving without a driver's license and a speeding ticket. I was headed to visit my grandfather, who is very ill with cancer, in the hospital, and I was pulled over. I was wrong for speeding, absolutely, and apologized for putting anyone at risk. I tried to explain the situation to the officer and show him that all my paperwork was in order, but he refused. Handcuffs are not comfortable or a good look for anyone. I was released. I have my license, my car, and my freedom. Okay, Portia. But that's not what the police officer said. The police officer had a completely different story, and as you can see on the screen, I have included the statement from the police officer. I really want to get through this video quickly, so for those of you who want to read that, you can put the video on pause and read it yourself, or whatever the case might be, but it's on the screen, so I'm going to move on to the next. The thing that was interesting to me is people were not laughing at what the cookie lady did. They were laughing at the fact that she have a mugshot. And I was saying, the crime should be the focus. Yeah, some people focus on the crime. For the most part, it was the fact that she had a mugshot. And I was like, Portia got one. And, the only people is like Candy, Cynthia Bailey, Kenya. They don't have mugshots, okay? And my thing is, everyone is doing well, everyone have moved on and all of that. So if you want to come for the cookie lady because you are upset that she messed with Tanya, and you're upset with the production, producers and all of that for bringing her on the show, and Cynthia Bailey, say that woman have her own business. She owned a very successful cookie business. She's doing well enough to have a store next to a woman who's a former supermodel who's on a TV show. Okay?
Her name is not the cookie lady. The lady, first of all, the lady has a shop right next to
the lady, the Bailey wine cellar.
Right next to it.
She's my business neighbor at the Bailey wine cellar, and she's a successful entrepreneur. She has a very successful cookie store, and That's my relationship with her. And had nothing to do with her coming on the show, saying nothing about nobody's man.
So I'm not here for the cookie lady, but I'm just saying fair is fair. She's doing well for herself. You know, isn't that what Nene tweeted years ago? I did my stuff, but if I can be successful, you can too. That's basically what's happening to the cookie lady. I did my stuff, but if I can be successful, okay, to build my own business, then you can do it too. So when I do these things, it's not me constantly trying to talk down on these women or bring up their past. We all have a past and things like that. But I'm just saying, if you're going to throw stones and point your finger, don't forget you have a few pointing back at you. But my point is, you are saying that Kenya Moore brought this cookie lady who committed fraud into the group, and oh my gosh, look at Kenya declassing the show when the woman who claims she opened doors have mugshots for shoplifting and other charges allegedly. What? Y'all hate Kenya Moore that much that we are just supposed to forget, have amnesia, and erase all of the other people on this show currently with a mugshot. But we are just supposed to act like Nene, Milo, Greg, Portia, and Apollo, who went to jail twice for fraud. We just supposed to ignore them because Kenya Moore brought a woman that she thought it would be best for her to come and explain face to face to Tanya what exactly happened. Why is everyone taking this story back? Cynthia taking it back to Tanya. The woman telling Cynthia and Kenya telling Candy. Why is everyone giving their own version of what this cookie lady said? You know what? Let's cut the BS. Let's bring the source and let her have a face-to-face conversation with you and tell you what your man did. So that way you are hearing it from her mouth and not everybody else. Are we just also going to ignore the fact that Bravo flashed on the screen that Cynthia Bailey invited this woman to her wine cellar opening? Cynthia Bailey, happy birthday, by the way, to Cynthia Bailey. She turned 53 yesterday. From my understanding is innocent. Yes, Kenya is not a saint, but she's innocent in this one. Innocent Kenya Moore came to visit her friend, Cynthia Bailey, okay? And that day they were filming, the camera was there. So of all of the days that Cynthia could have taken Kenya to any other business in that lot where her wine cellar is, oh, she chose the day where Kenya came with a camera to just mysteriously end up in a cookie lady shop where out of nowhere she's approaching them with the camera rolling and telling them tea about Tanya's man. I mean, we are not that stupid now. Now, I understand some of you don't like Kenya Moore, but come on, okay? Don't play dumb. Cynthia and that cookie lady already had a conversation off camera. Bravo already told the girls, we need fresh faces. We need something new. So go ahead and bring new faces to the group, whatever you want to do, because we need some excitement, especially, she married, didn't work out and all of that. And that's all Cynthia Bailey was doing. And Kenya got dragged into it. And when Kenya saw that everyone basically ignored that production set this up and Cynthia Bailey set this up, she's like, now wait a minute, because now Cynthia, you are running around acting like I'm the bad guy when actually you are the one who introduced this woman to the group. You brought her to your wine cellar opening, okay, and then you try to clear your name in Toronto without me to Tanya, okay? So I understand some of y'all don't like the girl, Kenya Moore, I get it. I had to laugh when I saw this lady mug shot, like, really? This is it? And I'm reading, like, Kenya Moore gets dragged for bringing the cookie lady around and she got a mug shot. Then should we start dragging Nene? Do you know how many mug shots Milo have in Milo Pass? Are we supposed to drag Nene too? This whole thing about Nene saying that Kenya Moore would be the demise of the show, I busted laughing too. I mean, I don't know what mindset people be in when they enter this level of just being delusional. I don't know. But you're trying to tell me a woman that sits pretty and use her words, you're trying to tell me she will be the demise of the show. But a woman who accused someone of rape that you were going on a campaign in the leaks to bring back on the show, even after what she did to Candy. But you know what? It's cool because Nene also, wanted a woman to get raped by an Uber driver when she was doing comedy. So it completely makes sense why she had no problems with wanting Phaedra to come back to the show. So if Phaedra Parks wasn't the demise of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, if you, who fought our producer, sent him to the hospital allegedly with broken tooth, and then raped another producer's shirt, and then according to your little sis, allegedly you almost tried to, or you did, whatever she said, hit her while she was pregnant. And then at the Snake Gate situation that you created, if it wasn't for the producers and Portia holding you back, you would have also assaulted Kenya Moore. And then you went as far as attempting to spit on Kenya Moore. Greg is cancer-free and was cancer-free when they filmed, this season. Okay. So my thing is, if your husband is cancer-free and you have a life coach and you're on this spiritual journey, but yet you are still jumping and trying to fight another woman every chance you got, resulting to physical, violence and all of those things. Now, so what is your excuse? You wanted us to believe that you are going through a lot because your husband had cancer, and to excuse your behavior of what you did to the producers. But now he's cancer free and you're supposedly on the spiritual journey. So what is the excuse? So if your actions won't be the demise of the show by putting your hands on other people, then you think the women who have not even come close to doing anything close to what other people have done on this show will be the demise? Girl, bye. If you don't go to Madison Square Garden and have server seats in every single one of them. But sure, how many fights Portia been in? I'm not bringing up people past to basically constantly do that. But those are the only examples that I have to use, so I will use them. So you're trying to tell me a woman who's never been in any physical altercation, never accused anyone of rape, none of that will be the demise of this show. Child, if your friend Phaedra Parks couldn't shut down the Real Housewives of Atlanta, you think Kenya would be the demise? I had to fall on the floor and laugh at that as well. So, to me, nothing to see here. And also, too, it's really simple. Kenya did interviews and been doing interviews and answering every single Nene Leaks question. And Nene is just simply returning the favor. And that's it. But y'all asked for it. Comedy at this point. Because it's like, really? Okay, girl, sure. You're talking about yourself. After my detailed breakdown, I'm like, you know what? Nene's just talking because she's upset. And, Kenya Moore don't back down from her. And, and that's, she finally met her match and all of that. And that's that, because she's the same woman who said that Portia Williams and Phaedra Parks were declassing the show by the whole alleged rape allegation, but then she turned right around and was advocating for Phaedra to come back. She's the same person who went in on Milo about her past and, harming people in her mugshots, and that's when people turned around on her and say, but in as much as your crime are not as violent as Milo, but didn't you get a few mugshots too? So this is all Nene is doing. When she's mad at you, she will do this. The same way how she went on her campaign and saying that Cynthia Bailey should get fired and all of that. So yeah, this is nothing new. It didn't even need all of the energy that I provided it. But I know you guys love when I come with receipts and I'm detailed. And so that's why I did all of that. But if she and Kenya were cool, none of this would be happening, because like I said, she went in on Portia and Phaedra and then turned right around and tried to bring the woman back that she claimed was declassing the show. All jokes aside, Portia, Nene, Milo, all of the girls, Greg, with the mugshot and all that, that's just a testament of, what, you can go through things in life and you can rise above and do something great and amazing in your life. So congratulations to all of you, for putting all of those things behind you and doing great. It's even the Milo. That's what I always say. It's never that deep for me. There's no hate going on here. I'm just giving my opinion. But I will always be fair and give these people. Oh, also, I didn't really pay attention to the name calling and everything else that Nene have to say. I say things. So Nene wants to call Kenya nasty and all of that. Nene is literally, describing herself when she comes for Kenya Morse. And lastly, I did a separate video on this. I don't really want to talk about this in this video, but since a little bit of it was played in the interview that Nene did, I would just basically say this, but I'm still going to post a separate video. Do you guys really think Andy Cohen is going to come on national television and admit to phasing Nene out of the Real Housewives of Atlanta? I mean, like, where they do that at? Andy would never admit to that. So for people screaming, yes, Andy put Kenya in her place, Kenya is a liar, what boss is going to come on TV and admit, yes, I fired this person, yes, I'm phasing this person out? I mean, come on, I understand some of you don't like Kenya more, but why, when it comes to her, sometimes the common sense just leave the room? Andy would never admit to that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, really? So, Andy responded. Andy answered. And Kenya never said it was 100%. She said it looked that way. It looks that way, which is true. When you're used to seeing someone constantly and then the person just disappeared, you start asking questions. For example, when I did the video saying that Phaedra Parks and the light-skinned DJ guy, Capone, whatever his name is, broke up, I don't know Phaedra personally. She didn't call me to tell me that. She didn't make an announcement yet. But I noticed her pattern. She went from posting him every other day and all of this stuff to deleting all of the pictures, and he was gone. And so when I posted that video, a few days later, next thing you know, the new guy is on her page and she's moving on. And I was right. Because I noticed he wasn't a main character in her life anymore. So that's all Kenya is saying. How come this woman, who is a housewife, the OG, the HBIC, the main character, now is just disappearing? And then Nene herself sat on YouTube and social media complaining, saying that Bravo is being unfair to her. But then now, because Kenya said something about it, now everything is changing. So I did an entire video with tweets and everything and receipts and all of that. But because, they touch on it, I just wanted to say something about it real quick. Even though I'm not here for some of them, I am still wishing them the best. And here my final loves. Thank you all for your love and support. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. Also turn on notifications so when I do post, you're aware that I posted. And I will see you all in the comment section. Remember to always have the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. Have a great day, guys. God bless you.